Major road rage action happening here.
On the road, off the field, young and old, anger seems to dominate the current mood.
Anger as an emotion actually has a lot of value.
While psychologists say it's a natural response designed to help us fast-track problem solving,
It feels good because you feel like you're more likely to succeed. That also relates to some of the things that anger does. It makes you, again, more confident in that you will succeed in attaining your goal.
excessive anger can cause emotional and physical harm, leading to heart disease, lung damage, and even shortened lifespans. Not to mention how it can ruin relationships.
There's no way to live, and it actually is terrible for your health.
Brant Hansen, a nationally syndicated radio host,
Some good broadcasting is on the way.
Yeah.
wrote the book Unoffendable in 2015, tackling the issue of anger gone wild.
You might be considered a prophet somewhat, considering that these are the dominant themes playing out today. So, Brant, why'd you write the book?
I couldn't figure out how long I was supposed to be angry about stuff.
Like letting go of childhood trauma and bitterness after growing up in a broken home. The son of a preacher, his search led him to the Bible and what he believes is the antidote.
The answer keeps coming back. We're not supposed to stay angry at all. We're supposed to let it go. We're supposed to forgive people.
Hansen makes the case anger is a choice, writing, "We can and should choose to forfeit our right to be offended." It's an idea he acknowledges sounds radical, but he says it's modeled on the life and words of Christ.
I'm not telling you that. Jesus is telling us we have to forgive people. Paul's the one who said, let go of your anger before the sun goes down. Get rid of all anger. James is the one that writes, there's nothing righteous about human anger. You can find that in James 1.
Brian Edwards, a Christian counselor and a minister of marriage and family, agrees, quoting a familiar passage about anger.
Do not let the sun go down on your wrath, right? So I find myself in my marriage counseling often bringing up this verse because during marital adjustment sessions, what ends up happening with couples is sometimes they'll let this anger and frustration go on to the next day.
The key, according to both, is forgiveness and sacrifice.
I myself am a sinner, so I have to decide, am I going to let things go or not? And the Bible is not ambiguous about this. We're supposed to let go of offense, cover sin with our love. We're supposed to forgive so that we'll be forgiven.
Pastor Edwards adds, it's also good to be humble and reflect on our own failings.
Search me, O God, and know my thoughts. See if there's any wicked way in me and lead me into the way everlasting. So there's this idea on a regular basis of being introspective and asking God, hey, check me, because I want to live a life that honors you, so I need to be checked. So Jesus cleansed the temple, but God wants us to cleanse our temple.
That is not what America is about!
But what about political causes and conflicting worldviews? He points out many of the same issues existed in Jesus' day.
Infanticide, racism, occupation, injustice, like all of this. There's nothing new. And yet, look at his approach to humanity and the fact that he still wanted to save it. He still loved us. You can still advocate, give, donate, act, be an activist on whatever your issue is. But if you do it out of anger, that's not the right motivation. It actually clouds your judgment.
In fact, according to a recent study by psychology professor Michael Greenstein, people are more susceptible to misinformation when they're angry, raising their confidence while reducing the memory's accuracy.
With fast-paced information gathering, it's really hard already to know what is the quote truth. And if you're experiencing anger about something, you might be more likely to just go and search for information that shows that you're right. And then you believe that you're right. And so it creates this kind of cycle of I'm angry.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about forgiving those who sin against you.
Hansen admits writing a book on anger doesn't mean he's mastered it, though he says being unoffendable and letting go of anger has clear rewards.
So the weird thing is it actually makes life a lot better. And I think it helps us to see things more clearly, too. And the last thing is it makes us very different from the rest of the world.
A relevant and timely remedy. John Jessup, CBN News.